Good morning, everybody. Good to see you. We finally made it. We're almost done with April. Today's Wednesday. It's raining out there a little bit. But we might be out of our doldrums here pretty soon. A lot of states are starting to open up. So I have a lesson today from 2 Timothy chapter 4. And I don't know any preacher that doesn't love this passage. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read from the first of the chapter all the way through chapter 2, verse 8. In the presence of God and Jesus Christ, who will judge the living and the dead, and in view of his appearing in his kingdom, I give you this charge, Timothy. Preach the word. Be prepared in season and out of season. Correct, rebuke, and encourage with great patience and careful instruction. For the time will come when men will not put up with sound doctrine. Instead, to suit their own desires, they will gather around them a great number of teachers to say what their itching ears want to hear. They will turn their ears away from the truth and turn aside to myths. But you, keep your head in all situations, endure hardship, do the work of an evangelist, and discharge all the duties of your ministry. For I am already being poured out like a drink offering, and the time has come for my departure. I have fought the good fight, I have finished the race, I have kept the faith. Now there is in store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day, and not only to me, but also to all who have longed for his appearing. As I said, preachers like this verse because it's all about what their job is. Their job is to preach the word. And don't be deterred by people who want you to preach what they want to hear. You preach what God wants you to preach. And then Paul is saying, I want you to hurry up and come to see me because I am already being poured out like a drink offering, and the time has come for my departure. A lot of commentators have problems with this because they don't know what is he saying. He's being poured out like a drink offering. Well, a drink offering in the Old Testament was a voluntary offering. It was accompanied by other voluntary offerings, but it was something that people would understand very well back in those days that when you go to sacrifice something to the Lord, you offer him something that you have, that you are voluntarily giving to him. And for instance, let me show you what I mean by that. Let's say I have a little water in this cup. And if this was all the water I had, and it was in my cup, I have a voluntary way to hand it out. I could pour it out. I could give it to other people. I could pour it in this bowl. I could pour it out. And that's really what the fluid offering or the drink offering was. It was something that you had. Let's say, for instance, you were at a party and you'd already drunk a lot. And everybody says, let's remember all the folks who died this year. And they would go, cheers. And then the custom was to pour out the drink to remember those who had died. Okay, so here we have a drink offering that's being poured out. And you know, at any time I could stop pouring, but I choose to pour it all out, and I get the last few drops. Well, you remember Paul voluntarily decided to appeal to Caesar, to go to Rome, because God told him that he would eventually be his witness in Rome. And several prophets told him, Agabus being one of them, told him that if you go to Rome, you're going to be bound up and it's not going to be good. Well, Paul voluntarily poured that out, poured his life out. poured his service out to God. And so when he says, I am already being poured out like a drink offering, it appears to Paul that his time is running out because he's going to be going to the emperor and it doesn't look good, and he might be killed. He might be executed. And the time has come for my departure. What's very interesting here is that the Greek word for being poured out like a drink offering is the Greek word spendo. And we use that word spend when we use something and we spend it. But this other word, the time has come for my departure, is a nautical term. It means it's like a captain who has loaded up everything he needed on his ship and he's checked it off, and the time has come for his departure, meaning that it's time to loosen the ropes that hold him to the pier or to the dock, and it's time to go to another place. So that's what Paul is saying. He's saying, my life is being poured out here, and it's time for me to loosen the rope and go to another place. So sometimes preachers feel that way. Sometimes they feel like they've done all the good they can do, and it's time for them to leave. But this is being thrust upon Paul. He is being tried and perhaps executed, and he wants Timothy to come quickly. And so he makes an observation. He's looking at his checklist, just like a captain of a ship. And he's saying, yes, I have fought the good fight. Yes, I have finished the race. Yes, I have kept the faith. And because I have done these things, and it's time to go to another place, there is in store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me at that day. And not only to me, but also to all those who have longed for his appearing. So Paul is modeling a behavior to Timothy. He's saying, you do the right things. You fight the good fight. You finish the race. You keep the faith. And at the end, there'll be a crown of righteousness for you. These are encouraging words. I hope you have a great day.